Hi, my name is Beth, and I'm going to show you how I put thrums in a mitten. Thrums are these bits of wool, roving or any type of unspun wool that you're going to insert into your mitten in various places to make your mitten much warmer. And as you can see, it's all sticking out the back. You can see the little design in the front it makes when you put it into your mitten, and on the inside of the mitten it's all this mess. And what will happen is this will mat down and pack in upon wear of the mitten, and it'll make for a nice, thick, soft, warm mitten. I'm using the 2-needle method for these mittens. All the videos I've seen on putting thrums in a mitten have been done on the double-pointed needles or circular needles, knitting in the round. But I'm using this method just because I want to try it this way, and I'm sure there's no reason for it not to come out just as well as the other method. But this gives me a better visual of the thrums as I'm making the mitten. So I have gotten to this point in inserting my thrums and in making the mitten, and I wanted to show you how I actually make a thrum and put it into the mitten. So let's do that. I take some roving, and I have some pretty purple colored roving here, and I will pull a piece of roving off like this, and I'm going to separate this into 4 sections. And then from there, I'm going to put one of these away, 3 of these away, excuse me, and work with this piece. And I'm going to draft this out to make it longer and skinnier, much more wispy piece of roving. And from this I will start making thrums. I'll pull that right off. So now I have this one thin wispy piece of roving, and I'm going to separate this again into about 6-inch pieces. So I'm going to just put my hand on the top of it and pull, and then put my hand on top of that and pull, and well, that's not a 6-inch piece, but anyway, I just wanted to give you the idea of what I'm trying to do. I'm going to take this piece of roving, and I'm going to bring the ends together like this, and then fold it together like that, kind of like a figure 8. And then I'm just going to rub those pieces together, and because my hands are so dry, I need a little water. So I'm just going to dip my finger into the water just to get it a little bit damp, and it'll give me a better grip on this wool. And I'm going to roll it between my fingers like that. And that helps the wool grab itself. Okay, and that is a thrum that I'm going to be working with. So, and I have more of them here. I've been making them and throwing them into the basket, so I'll have some ahead as I work on the mitten. So now I'm going to take the mitten and I want to insert a thrum right here. I'm making it in a sort of a pattern. They're not all lining up, but for the most part, my intention is to have this one over this one over this one, and then in the next row alternate and have them, there's one right there, line up all down the mitten. So it looks sort of even. You can do it randomly, but I'm trying to do it sort of even so that I don't have a big gap of missing thickness in my mitten on the inside. And it looks pretty on the outside to have those. They look like little hearts almost on the outside of the mitten. So I'm going to insert this thrum by putting the tip of my right needle into the stitch below the stitch on my left needle. I'm going to enter there, take my thrum and fold it in half like this and put it over the needle. I'm going to pull it through that stitch and then put the tip of my needle through the stitch on my left needle. Grab my yarn over and knit. And now this thrum that's sitting here between these two stitches, I'm going to pull that thrum up and over this stitch like that. And then I'm just going to tug on the thrum on both ends of it to tighten that down. And then I can go ahead and knit my next 3 stitches. I'm putting them about 3 stitches apart. Thrum, 3 stitches, then a thrum. So now I have a thrum there. Now I'll put another one in right here. I'm going to the stitch under the stitch that's on the needle. And, oops, I gotta grab a thrum. I'm going to put this over my needle like that and bring it through, then knit the stitch that's on the needle, then grab the thrum and bring it up and over, and then again pull on the thrum so it isn't sticking out on the top, and then I can knit 3 more stitches. So there are my thrums going across the top. So I'm going to put one more in right here, and that will complete this row. So go in and into the stitch directly below, grab a thrum, bring it over, then knit the stitch, and then bring the thrum up and over, pull it tight, and then knit the last 2 stitches that I have on this row. And there, that's how you put them in. So basically, that's it. That's how you put them in. And the next row, because this is a 2 needle mitten, I will be purling across so that this side is my purl side and this side is my knit side. So I'll purl across this row. I won't be putting in any thrums. And then I will turn the mitten over and I'll do a knit row and then another purl row. So that's every 4 rows I'm putting a thrum, I'm doing a thrum row. So that's it. And when this mitten is done, when I've gone to the tip and decreased and closed that off, I'm basically going to just turn this mitten together, the right sides together, and sew up the seam, and then turn it right side out, and then the mitten will be done. Thanks for watching my video.